Hello, Lisa Richard here with Loving Energy Recharge, coming in to do the inner alchemy for May the 3rd, leading us forward to May the 8th. Now, if you haven't had a chance yet, I highly encourage you to go back to listen to last week's video. Last week, we were in the energy of the Ajna Center and the teachings of human design, which is all about the third eye awareness. It's also where we have our mental anxiety. And it's a pathway to get us to come out of the mindset of the human and into the higher reaching capacities of the greater mind. So the untapped wisdom, the divine source, our third eye, our intuition, all those higher aspects of potential that reside within that center. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the teachings of human design, you can stop by my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. You can enroll in the free Introduction to Human Design course that also contains the link to get your birth chart. And that'll help you to look at your own design to see the different activations that you have as we're traveling through this energy. Now, it's important to understand that there are 64 numbers, there's 64 gates, whether you're following the teachings of human design or the gene keys. And that is really representation of your DNA. We have 64 codon rings, codon strands within our cellular network. So this is all a genetic composition of allowing things to stimulate your inner self so that you can become the own alchemist to your reality. You get to navigate through how the shadow shows up, the dilemma shows up, the gift aspect shows up. In other words, you and I and everybody else are responsible for doing their own inner work to move from a lower vibrating form into a higher. And it isn't a race. It is just like you are a seed. And then as you are growing and developing in your own awareness, you're coming into your own self-actualization as to your potential to be the alchemist of your own design. So last week, and the importance of going back to reflect is we were in gate number 24 up in the Ajna. We were in what is known as the gate of return, and we spent some time really reflecting back on all the energies that we have traveled through since the spring equinox. Now, this is important because as we're coming into May the 3rd, and now we're shifting gears into the center of self, which in the teachings of human design, the center of self is known as the magnetic monopole. A magnetic monopole draws things in one direction. It houses all 12 of the zodiac signs. So if you think of that in terms of mysticism, the 12 zodiacs, the planets that are around us, well, that's the macro. We carry the essence of that in ourselves as a micro representation. So it's like what is in one is in the whole. So as the planets are shifting and changing, we are getting these different activations within us to stimulate our own growth and our own evolution. And that's why we're here. We're all here to learn how to grow and evolve. So as this is being stimulated, it is really in a magnetic alignment to the teachings of love. That is the core. So it's almost like, within every cell of your body, there's a nucleus. The nucleus is its energy force. It is what sustains the life. You can't destroy that. So we're always in alignment to this greater essence within us, around us, part of us, that we can't lose that connection. But we believe that we have. So as we're entering into gate number 2 during May the 3rd into the 8th, this is now known as the seat of the driver. It is also the gate of receptivity, and it's really looking at ourselves. So in other words, it is examining who's driving the way forward. Is your ego driving the way forward, your shadow driving the way forward, or are you attuning to the higher essence of the divine within you? Now, gate number 2 is all about the divine feminine. And this doesn't mean the woman. We have a divine masculine and a divine feminine within each and every one of us. The divine feminine is pure creative energy. All life starts from the divine feminine. We all came from a mother. We were all held in an egg. We were all encased in a substance of water that provided the nutrients for you to grow and develop before you came forward into this world. So this is pure yin energy, pure divine feminine energy, pure creative energy that is leading us forward this week as we get into tune within ourselves to check in with that very question. Who's driving the way? So here's how you self-actualize that. Your body is your vessel, your house, your ark. What was coming forward for me as I was contemplating this was the story of Noah's Ark. And I'm not intending to go in any religious direction. I want to look at this through the eyes of mysticism. Noah's Ark taught us the story of 2 by 2. One male, one female, and all entering into this ark in order to escape the great floods. Well, here's something for consideration. What if that is the divine masculine of us and the divine feminine of us in all aspects of life? Learning to come together to reside in the home of you in order to find its inner balance and its stability as you are navigating through the waters of life. Now, was Noah driving the boat, or was Noah a part of the boat? Was the masculine, the mind, a part of the body that was being driven through the essence of life and the floods and whatever was to come its way? In other words, are we both parts within ourselves? So there's a lot of contemplation in this gate, and I can't answer for you because this is a personal journey. It is something that you have to feel within your body. So that is the divine feminine. Your body holds your wisdom. Your body knows what it needs. We have been conditioned to not feel, to ignore our emotions, to ignore how your body is speaking to you. We feed it foods that we know we shouldn't feed it. We deny it to have enough to drink, enough to sustain itself. We get caught up in the stories of our mind that contaminate our inner waters. We get convinced by the perceptions of the world of what to do and what not to do. But your body knows. So this is really a period of time, and it is a pivotal shift. It is the midway point between the spring equinox and moving into the summer solstice. So it's really a time of checking in with yourself, tuning back into your body. We are looking at the shadow of dislocation. And dislocation is really that feeling when you're out of alignment. You can sense it because it hurts. It hurts when you are pulling yourself away from love. It hurts when you're telling yourself thoughts that are not of your truth. It hurts when you're accepting bad behavior and you're taking that in from others. It hurts when you feel like you have no purpose or that you are being disvalued. That is what that shadow essence of dislocation is. So it's not a pain story. It can be your salvation story. Because when you're feeling that, now it's a time to open up to the gate of receptivity and say, you know what? I'm responsible. I teach people how to treat me. I'm responsible for my emotions, what I believe to be true. I'm responsible for how I show up. I'm responsible to make the changes. I'm responsible to keep my house, my body, my vessel healthy and happy and holistic. I am responsible. And when we learn to claim that responsibility, we embrace the divine feminine, the element of water and of purification. Now there's a spiritual cleansing that is taking place. It is coming to a place of full surrender where you now become the observer of your reality. You're not fighting against the currents of life. We can't stop life from happening. You can't drive anybody else's vehicle. You can't tell them the direction to go in and make them do exactly as you want. It doesn't work that way. You can only drive your own vehicle and follow your own direction. So when we learn to really claim back those pieces of ourself, our divine essence, and we claim back the responsibility, we step up into the forward-thinking brain that is observing what is going on in the body of you. And you're having an honest conversation of, where do I feel dislocated? Where do I feel like I'm out of alignment? And then you're parenting those aspects of yourself. So you're being very gentle and very kind and very considerate with whatever is rising up for you. This isn't a journey of bashing yourself, blaming yourself, shaming yourself, guilting yourself, holding yourself prisoner to the past. The past is done. We look quickly back to gain the wisdom and the nuggets in order to carry it into our future moments. But the only truth is in the present. So in every present moment, you are creating your next step. So we're learning the power of our mind, of our thoughts, of our belief systems. We're learning to question all of the teachings. We're questioning religions. We're questioning cultures. We're questioning social economics. We're questioning, not judging. It doesn't matter what you believe in. There's many paths to Rome. There's many ways to get to the truth of you. What is right for one is not necessarily right for the other. So it's really about owning your direction, your mindset, your receptivity to life, to teaching, to embracing the way of the divine feminine, creativity, flow, unity, consciousness, which does not mean we all think and act the same. It means that you are authentically you in this beautiful tapestry of life. So the teachings this week are really there to help us get in tune with the body, to get in tune with how it is speaking to us, to learn how to be more receptive to love, to nurturing, to the faith within ourselves. So it's also being aware of the dilemma of agenda. We tend to have an agenda when it comes to love. My ideal partner will have this, 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 and this. And they won't do this, 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 and this. A condition to love. There is a part of us that has been conditioned to feel we have to earn love, that we have to become something in order to acquire love. So we have these ideas of what we want, how we want it, how that should appear, and what's that going to look like. Unconditional love just is. Unconditional love knows how to have very healthy boundaries. It knows the power of the no when it needs to speak it. And it's also going to come through the body. You have a right to protect your divinity. But where is the protection coming from? Is it coming from a higher awareness? Or is it coming from the traumas and the triggers that are closing you off to being open to love? And the truth is, many of us have been hurt. Many of us have been wounded. And it takes a very courageous individual to really look at the thorns, to look at those woundings, to lovingly parent yourself, to pull that out, to hand it back over to a higher power and say, I'm passing this back to you. It is not of my truth. It is not who I am. And then it takes even more courage now to leave that wound open so that it might heal. That is courage. That is a divine feminine. And anybody who's ever given birth knows how painful it is to bring forward life, to enter into new beginnings. Anybody that has ever had a traumatic event in their life and recovered from that knows the power of the journey. And that is why inner alchemy and the mystic's path is not for everybody. It takes work. It takes ownership. It takes responsibility. It takes really looking at the shadow and going, you know what? Yes, I have that. I am equal parts shadow and light. And there's times where you're going to reflect and you're going to see how the shadow plays in for your highest good. And you're going to see how it shifts you to choose from a higher perspective how to evolve yourself spiritually and emotionally through the energy to be able to become a stronger and stronger parent of yourself. So I feel like this is also an opportunity this week to really love the mothers, to look at who gave birth to you, and regardless of your upbringing, perhaps to send some love for the journey of creation. Because without them, you wouldn't be here. And we all learn and become a product of our surroundings. But that doesn't mean you have to stay in your surroundings. So a lot of us came in here to break the chains and to transform through some big karmatic ancestral patterns that are no longer working. We came here to shake the shit up and to do it from the power of love. So we're going to see a world that is dismantling. We are going to see systems that are crashing and falling. We are going to see a lot of the fear that is rising because people have forgotten how to trust and have faith in themselves and to find their own inner peace. You can help lead the way. You can learn to tune into you, to do your own shadow work, to build the faith within yourself, to allow your higher essence to drive the way, to teach you, to learn how to parent your inner child, that wounding, the karma from past lives. You can do the best you that you are able to do without trying to be perfect, because we are imperfectly perfect. So this is grace. This is acceptance. This is dropping the judgment. This is stop looking at other people driving their own vessels. Stop forcing an opinion for someone else's direction in life and taking full accountability for self. And we are all so human in that. So you need to have fun. If you're going to go on a road trip, don't you want there to be some good laughter and moments and some music that you can enjoy the journey of life? Otherwise, it's going to be a long, long road ahead. So use this energy to the best of your advantage. The gift aspect in here is orientation. They kind of save that for the end, and you will know for yourself the correct orientation for you. You have to find that, and you will find it by tuning inwards to yourself, by asking, what would love do? What would love do? So if you want some more information, I did write a blog for this one. You can visit my page, lovingenergyrecharge.com. You can subscribe to the newsletter if you want to be receiving it that way as well. And for those who feel ready, when we come out of this gate, we are jumping into 7 activations in our throat center. I have a new course that's coming out. We start on May the 7th. If you see this late and you want to join, you still can. Send me an email. The contact information will be on the website. But this is all about reclaiming your divine voice. And when I first advertised and I put it out there, I said, this is to reclaim the divine feminine that has been suppressed for too long. And a part of my ego wanted to apologize for that. And now, stepping into gate number 2 and knowing that this is pure feminine energy, that does not mean it is just for the woman. I get it. So it's not apologizing for what is needed. It's not apologizing for the rise of the divine feminine, the call for receptivity, for love, for listening, for deep, deep inner contemplation. And regardless of how you identify, that is available to us all. So if you want more information about that class coming up, you can also visit the website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. If that doesn't work for you, we're still going to be gathering together weekly on this YouTube channel. So I hope that you stay in here for the journey. I would love to hear your comments, your own perspectives of this. Let me know how you're going to really tune into your body during this energy and honor the way of your own inner knowing to go in the direction that you just know to be the truth for you. Namaste to you all. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful journey ahead as you come into terms with who is driving the way. And this is going to end for us on the new moon in Taurus on the 8th. So a beautiful opportunity. Look at the stubbornness of the bull. And that can be for your highest good. And it can also be to your detriment if it is for your intellect and the ego, the masculine. So the masculine is I will do. Really getting that in check. So some beautiful energy to contemplate. Thank you for staying with me to the end. And I look forward to touching base again as we start the journey through the 7 activations of the throat center, starting for us on May the 9th. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.